Hello, everybody, and welcome into another episode of the Fumble Sports Daily Show. It is so wonderful to have you on this Father's Day. It is June 18th, Sunday, and a big happy Father's Day to all the dads out there. Especially a shout out to my dad, who is my hero, who makes all of my dreams come true simply by being my dad and showing me the kind of the support that a great father would. So blessings to my dad. I hope he has a wonderful Father's Day, and to all those dads out there. Moms have plenty of attention. Whenever there's an athlete on the field, they always say, "Hi, Mom." But who was it who was pitching me? Who was catching my pitches in the driveway? Who was there for all of my sporting events? Who was there for the big games that I went to? It was my father. Sports is where my father and I share the same love, and I want to send my love out to my father. And to all of our loyal viewers who are fathers, just know you're special in someone's world. I hope you have a great Father's Day. And of course, I hope our Fumble Sports Daily Show provides you with a lot of fun, entertainment, and a way of enjoying yourself on this magnificent Sunday and Father's Day. Jorge, great to see you already in the chat. It is wonderful to see a familiar face. Jump right in there. I'm so excited about today's show because we are obviously going to cover what we did yesterday with our picks, but we have a lot to get into today. A doubleheader between the Red Sox and the Yankees. We have a lot of day baseball, so really excited about it. 3434, hi, how you doing? Harley, great to see you. Wonderful to see familiar names jumping in the chat. We are here for the next 2 hours like we are every single day, live here at Fumble Sports across all of our platforms, TikTok Live, YouTube, Twitch, and Kick. If you have a comment, a question, you want to learn something, you want to share your picks, you want research done, throw those comments in the comment section, throw those questions in the comment section. We're here for all of it. Fumble Sports is here to help you, entertain you, and hopefully make you an even better sports fan. And yes, Jorge, I'm not going to say Fumble Sports has any influence on the outcome of what went down in West Virginia yesterday, but Fumble Sports put out a rant, whether you agreed with it or not. Clearly there was something to it because Huggy Bear has stepped down. He is resigning from West Virginia. I think it's the right call. 3434, great to see you. How do you think the Packers will do this year? I fade Jordan Love a little bit. I think they'll probably be a 500 team, which for some people is better than expectations. But I haven't seen anything from Jordan Love to really instill strong confidence. Hopefully I see that early in the year. I think it's a good roster that they've built, but I don't think we're going from Brett Favre to Aaron Rodgers with this transition to Jordan Love. So for me, I think we need to pump the brakes on Jordan Love a little bit. If he was so spectacular, we would have seen it by now. He actually has had a few snaps. He's had a few camps. We would have seen it. So for me, I am a little out on Jordan Love, but I do think the Packers will be a 500 team. That said, the Raiders are in an awful position. They don't have a quarterback. And Jimmy G, or as I call him, Jimmy Glass, he's due to break at any moment. So for me, the Oakland Raiders, also known as now the Las Vegas Raiders, here I am going to Oakland because I'm getting ready for the Athletics today. But that said, I certainly think that the Raiders are in a world of hurt. I think, again, Josh McDaniels is going to fail as a head coach. And I think this time he won't get a third opportunity. Josh McDaniels, I think, is going to be on the hot seat this year. He's going to make it through the year, but ultimately, I think he's going to lose his job after this year. And really, it's not going to be his fault. It's going to be because he never had a quarterback that could stay on the field healthy, that he really could build his offense around. I actually think Derek Carr will have more success in New Orleans than Jimmy G will have in Las Vegas. Y.A. Tittle, stay away from the Dodgers. Controversy is affecting the team now. Y.A. Tittle, explain. I'd love to hear some conspiracy theories about why the Dodgers laid maybe the worst egg in franchise history. That was their worst loss at home ever. A 15-0 shutout to your rivals, the San Francisco Giants. The worst loss in Dodgers regular season history. That's a stat, by the way, losing 15-0. So I'm very interested to see what happens with the Dodgers. If you know something, Y.A. Tittle, don't be hesitant to share it. Top Dog, happy Father's Day to you. Hope you're having a wonderful day. Farika, good morning. God bless. Hope you're having a wonderful Sunday, Farika. Hope you're enjoying a beautiful day. And Dante, good morning. Happy Father's Day. I always feel so energized by seeing all of you guys jumping into the comment section, jumping into the chat. Knowing that we have such loyal viewers who watch this show every day means a lot to us. As we do every single day, we're going to go through our picks. But before we do, we're going to go through our picks from yesterday before we start on today's picks. But as always, I put out this disclaimer. Butt Fumble Sports is not a sports book. We do a lot of sports betting conversation, daily fantasy sports conversation. We do give out trends and picks, but we are not a sports book. We're not endorsed by any sports book. Please take your sports gambling responsibly. Be careful. If you need help, there are places to go. What we offer here is a lot of information. We want to inform you. We want to make you smarter. So either you can cash some tickets, win your fantasy league, or just enjoy sports to the max with all this knowledge that we bring out every single day. Now, let's go through our picks from yesterday. How did they do? We'll shift right down to our results for June 17th. This was yesterday's results. So unfortunately, bit of a slog on non-MLB player prop bets. We did really well on our MLB player prop bets. We really cashed on those. But unfortunately, MLB game picks we struggled on. We had a number of those first inning run outcomes that didn't go our way. WNBA, we went 0 for 2. UFC, we went 1 for 1. The MLB prop bets really cashed. And I actually want to call out what really did well, because we will do this again. I mentioned it's become one of my new favorite parts of the show, where we reverse engineer some of our favorite plays. Look how we did on our reverse engineering walks allowed play. Griffin Canning, cashed. Logan Gilbert, cashed. B-Lock, cashed. Giolito, cashed. Wainwright, cashed. All 5 of those reverse engineering walks allowed, all cashed for us. So we will do that later today. Very consistent for us over the last week or so. We've gone to that more and more. The idea of taking over 1.5 walks. And that is definitely something that I would consider keeping your eye on for today's Sunday game. Certainly have plenty of opportunities there. But once again, also want to go through how we did on our long ball long shots of the day. We went 2 for 4. Shohei Ohtani and Matt Olson both went yard. Stealing is sharing. We went 4 for 10. I said it was going to be a big stolen base day. We did really well on those. Keep in mind, the odds for long ball long shots and stealing is sharing are about the same. Home runs and stolen bases, they usually go off between plus 250 to about plus 400. Those are really good bets because we're getting them at plus money. So even though you're seeing a 4 for 10 day, that actually is cashing about plus 8 units for us on those bets. So really helpful when we go 4 for 10 on those. And you guys came through on celebrity shots. Jorge, you mentioned it. You went 2-0. A couple of you guys had really good days. Jorge, Dante went 1-1. Tito's Full Send went 2-0. Top Dog cashed on his one pick. Candyman, unfortunately, we followed him on WNBA and he didn't hit on those. It's okay. LRK425 went 2-0. And Jeremy Todd did miss on Bobby Miller, but it was a bad beat. Bobby Miller had 5 strikeouts. Jeremy Todd, 6-6, had him getting 5.5. So let's look at our records overall for our win-loss record for celebrity shots. Candyman now 7-9. Hopefully we can get him back on the air with some hot WNBA picks. But Jorge has been scorching hot at 14-6. LRK425 is now 6-2. Mike Oxlong is above 500 at 9-8. How about Show Me, 7-3. Tito's Full Send is 7-4. And Top Dog is 12-7. So love the opportunities that we get to follow some of those who watch the show. By the way, how does it work? If you want your celebrity pickup on the board, just write in the comment section, my celebrity shot, and then whatever the pick is, can be anything you want. We don't do fantasy just because we don't know which sports book, but if you want a player prop bet, a game pick, a run in the first inning, we're here for all of it. We're going to clear out our results from yesterday like we always do, because it's time to not focus on what's in the rear view mirror, but to focus on what's going down today. Already getting some of your great questions and comments in the chat, and we will dive into all of it over the course of the next 2 hours. And by the way, again, happy Father's Day to all of those dads out there. I hope you're having a wonderful Sunday, and I hope you know there is nothing like a father in sports. To me, the two are synonymous, and I hope all of you out there are just having a wonderful Father's Day. Top dog, Shohei Ohtani went deep. That's right, we cashed on that. And not only did we cash on that, we cashed on hits, runs, and RBIs, which we took at 2.5. And I know I said, man, I really don't like doing this, but if I'm going to do it with anybody, it's Shohei Ohtani. Okay, for all those who are new to the show, how do we give out our picks? That is every time we get the gift of confetti on TikTok Live, every time we get our live goal of confetti, we give out a pick. By the way, if you guys want to contribute on YouTube, you can. I'll see that, and I'll give out a pick every time you guys do. If you want a long ball, long shot of the day, hit that like button. When we get to 2,000 likes, we give out a long ball, long shot of the day. Sitting on the first one and excited about it. So our first long ball, long shot of the day is just a few likes away. And then finally, stealing is sharing. If you share the channel, if you share Butt Fumble Sports with others, every time you do, we will give out a player we think is going to get a stolen base today. And just like yesterday, there are a ton of pitchers on the mound today who give up a lot of stolen bases, who have a really bad percentage at avoiding stolen bases or preventing them. So Jorge, way to come through right away. Good job hitting that like button, everybody. We're 10 minutes into the show, and we got some picks to give out. So let's get going. First pick we're going to give out is our first long ball, long shot of the day. And I just want to give a big shout out to all those who watch the show consistently and do the research along with us. I'm noticing more and more, you guys aren't just asking good questions. You guys are doing the kind of research that I do and finding really good plays. YA Tittle 24, great job, because you found one I absolutely love. Hunter Renfroe. I am all about him hitting a home run today. He rakes against the pitcher he's facing. We'll dive into it right now. But a great find by YA Tittle 24. Owns the pitcher. We're going to dive into it in just 1 second. Want to pull this up so you can see what the odds are. And again, we're using Outlier. It's not a sports book, but it is a great tool for using data to find the best bets possible. So Hunter Renfroe, 18% implied probability on home runs, but I actually think that isn't high enough, and I love that I can get this at plus 470. Let me show you why. He does have a couple home runs over the last 10 games, but against Zach Greinke, lifetime. This is going to show since 2018. 16 at-bats, a 375 average, 4 home runs. 4 home runs in just 16 at-bats. That is raking. That is ownership. We are all over Hunter Renfroe today. If you go to our website, buttfumblesports.com, we put out our DFS lineup every single day. Yes, Hunter Renfroe is there. If you want to see who else is on the team, go to our website, buttfumblesports.com. But I am all about Hunter Renfroe today. Let's also look at him. Can we get half a hit? Yes. And this is one in which I think the sports book, they don't know. I'm sure they do, so I'm not going to say the sports book doesn't know. But I don't think the betting public knows this is such a strong play. You can get this at minus 200. Absolutely. Throw this into a leg of a parlay. It doesn't look like a really consistent play. But again, the sheer ownership of Hunter Renfroe against Zach Greinke, I am all over it today. Hunter Renfroe over half a hit. I am all about it. I would throw that into a parlay. I'm going to look at hits, runs, and RBIs as well. 1.5. The implied probability is on my side. I'm all over Hunter Renfroe today. So I'm doubling down on him. And I'm taking over 1.5 hits, plus runs, plus RBIs. I am all about it today. So, and he's not the only angel that I'm about, but we'll get to more of them in a little bit. Jorge, who do I start at shortstop? Eli De La Cruz or Seager? I think both are great plays today. I want to make sure I'm getting the starting pitching matchup for that Reds game correct. So in the Reds game, it's Ronel Blanco. He obviously doesn't have any matchups against Eli De La Cruz in the majors. To me, I lean slightly towards Eli De La Cruz. I think Seager could hit a home run. That's my only concern. I don't have him as a long ball, long shot of the day. But to me, Eli De La Cruz is probably the safer play because you think he's going to get a walk. You think he's going to get on base. That means he'll get a stolen base. Means he gets a run. So I feel like there's a good opportunity there. Corey Seager, tough pitching matchup against Chris Bassett. Now, he does have numbers against Bassett, but at the same time, I think I'd lean towards Eli De La Cruz, Jorge. Now, that said, Jorge also shared the channel, so we have another pick to give out, and that is Stealing is Sharing, and Eli De La Cruz. So that we made that easy. Eli De La Cruz is just a cashing ticket right now on stolen bases. If you're not betting him on stolen bases every day, I think you're missing out. I would put a half unit down on it. Half unit down, don't put a full unit down, but it's been so consistent. Let's bring it up so you guys can see this. So 24% implied probability. You can still get this at plus 320. This is why betting on stolen bases is a good play, everybody. Because think about, for some home run hitters, you're not even getting it at plus 320. Look at how consistent this has been. This is a phenomenal trend right here when it comes to stolen bases. Now, again, when it comes to the starting pitcher, Blanco, limited numbers, not a huge sample size. He's pitched well, but the 1.71 whip actually is really encouraging. It tells me I think Eli De La Cruz gets on base at least once today. If he gets on first, the green light is there no matter the count, no matter who's up. He is a stolen base machine. Love the opportunity to take him. I would take him today, no doubt about it, to get a stolen base. So there you go, our first Stealing is Sharing play of the day. By the way, you guys are doing your work hitting that like button. Great job, everybody. So because of that, we have another long ball, long shot of the day to give out. I'm having too much fun to avoid it, so let's get into it right here. The next one, I'm actually doubling down on this Angels-Royals game, and I'm taking Mike Trout. I think Mike Trout, who again has great numbers against Zach Greinke. So let's go over to Mike Trout. I want to show you guys what the odds are. You guys are crushing that like button. Love the support early on you guys are showing us. Again, look at the implied probability here. 25% on a home run. Take it. Plus 300. Again, by the way, so you're telling me Eli De La Cruz gets you more money on the return to get a stolen base than Mike Trout on a home run? That's why Eli De La Cruz on a steal is such a good play. Trout only has one home run over his last 10 games, but it's against Zach Greinke. His numbers against Greinke, 12 at-bats, a 333 average, 2 home runs, 5 RBIs. I am all about this play. Love Mike Trout as a home run play today. And I'll go back. I also want to look, can I get half a hit? Probably not. Oh, yeah. Crazy. So you're telling me, I know it's at minus 275. I don't care. Throw this into a parlay. Take Mike Trout over half a hit and just sprinkle it into some of your parlays today. He has ownership of Zach Greinke. Ownership of the guy. So with that said, I'm all over it. Hits, runs, and RBIs, doing that as well. This is a no-brainer to me. Mike Trout over 1.5 hits, plus runs, plus RBIs. We haven't gotten any of our live goal of confetti yet, which is where we give out our picks. But I'm going to give one out anyways, just because clearly we're all about this game. Angels, Royals, I'm going over. I took the over at 8.5. That is an alternative line, but I'm more than happy to take it. Just want to show you what it's going off at. It's 9.5 here. I took the alternative line. Over 8.5 at minus 155, everybody. Minus 155. Keep in mind, there were a lot of runs scored in that game yesterday. If we go over to our Ballpark Pal website and look at how runs will be impacted by the weather today, KC, good spot for runs. And the -5, that actually isn't that concerning when it comes to home runs. That certainly isn't enough to avoid it. Jorge, do I like Mike Trout when it comes to total bases? Absolutely I do at 1.5. I wouldn't take it. It's not as good a play as the other two. I do like it. I wouldn't put money on it, but I do like it. I do think it's a good play. I know the implied probability says it's a coin flip. I like it a little bit more than that. Not enough to put it up on my big board, Jorge, but I do like it. But do I think there's a better opportunity here with the other two plays that we put up on the board? Yes, I do. Now, Jorge has shared the channel again, so we have another pick to give out. another stolen base pick to give out. And we'll stay with this game. No, we'll go to a different game. I'm going to put Cedric Mullins up there. Cedric Mullins. The Orioles are playing the Cubs and Jameson Taillon. Jameson Taillon gives up steals, everybody. And so I found the Orioles base runner who has the most steals against a right-handed pitcher this year. Cedric Mullins is someone I'm putting up there. I do have another one for the Orioles, but I'll wait on that until we get another share. Y.A. Tittle, yeah, I was in Boston the day before, and I just heard the weather report, and it sounded like they didn't want to even contest with the weather yesterday, so not surprised. By the way, is Mullins on the IL? If I'm mistaken, then I'm more than happy to change it. That makes it easier, actually, because I have someone else. I may be mistaken. He's progressing in his rehab, so we got to take him off the board. My mistake, forgive me. I'll put up a different one here, and that's Jorge Mateo. So he was the other Oriole that I had because I was looking at which Orioles have the most stolen bases this year against right-handed pitching. Cody shared the live, so let's put up another stolen base play. We just put up Jorge Mateo. The next one I'm going to put up is Victor Robles. Victor Robles. His matchup today, Victor Robles and the Nationals are facing Jesus Luzardo. I know that this suggests, oh, you have a lefty on the mound. You would think maybe he's better at holding runners. No, he's not, actually. And Robles is a good stolen base play, so he's our third stealing is sharing pick of the day. You guys keep sharing that channel. We'll keep giving out these picks. In fact, Jorge just shared again. So we're going to share another stolen base pick. Then we've hit already, can't believe it, we've already hit another 6,000 likes. You guys are crushing it right now. On the like button. So we have even more long ball, long shots of the day to give out. We will get to your research at some point, but you guys are being awesome, and I want to keep giving out picks for you guys. Our next stealing is sharing play of the day is going to be Tommy Edman. Tommy Edman of the St. Louis Cardinals. His matchup today is against Carlos Carrasco. Again, someone who struggles to hold runners. Like I mentioned, there are a lot of pitchers on the bump today who have a tough time holding runners. Tommy Edman. The Cardinals really don't steal that often, so it was kind of hard which one to go with. Edman's the only one who has real numbers, so I took Tommy Edman, but I wouldn't be surprised if there were a couple runners on the Cardinals that we're not thinking about who may actually try to swipe a bag as well. Let's give out another long ball, long shot of the day. Next one we're going to give out. Okay. This one's kind of predicated on something. Actually, I'll hold off on that because I want to hear if his start is announced. Next one I'm going to give out is Gunnar Henderson. Gunnar Henderson of the Baltimore Orioles. This rookie is red hot. Man, he has been torching the ball. Great exit velo. 20% implied probability on Gunnar Henderson to hit a home run. Again, he's facing Jameson Taillon. Had a really good stretch there early in the week. Has gone a bit cold when it comes to home runs. Certainly not impacting how I think about him. Jameson Taillon, has he faced him before? No, he has not. But against right-handed pitching this year, Gunnar Henderson does have 10 home runs. So at plus 400, really like Gunnar Henderson. Also, can I get him on half a hit? Would that be possible? Yes, it is. And again, guys, there are two plays that you're going to see more of as we grow in confidence around them. Walks allowed and over half a hit. Those are two plays we're growing confidence in as our success rate on those plays continues to increase. So I will take Gunnar Henderson over half a hit. And again, this is one, okay, if I want to do a three-leg parlay, Henderson over half a hit, Trout over half a hit, Renfroe over half a hit. That's how you can move those odds more towards your favor, everybody. More towards your favor. We have some celebrity shots we need to put up on the board. Dante, great to see you. For all those who follow along, Dante is 7-9, hoping Dante can get his 2 picks to cash today and therefore get to 500. Dante is taking Patrick Corbin over 1.5 walks allowed. As I mentioned just a second ago, walks allowed has become one of our favorite plays around here. By the way, just to complete the thought on Gunnar Henderson, hits, runs, and RBIs isn't a bad play either, so I'm actually going to throw that up there as well. I didn't mean to jump off Gunnar Henderson too quick. But as you can see, A lot of these guys I like to hit a home run. I'm taking them on over half a hit as well as over 1.5 hits, runs, and RBIs. Obviously, I'm hoping all 3 cash, but if I can get 1 of the 3, 2 of the 3, I'll be perfectly happy with that. 1.5 hits plus runs plus RBIs. And again, reason I like doing the doubling down, the over half a hit, I'm taking in parlays, 2 3-leg parlays, so those could hit on their own and really cover a number of my other bets. Now, we just threw up Dante's celebrity pick with Patrick Corbin over 1.5 walks. Let's look at it. If you want your celebrity shot put up on our big board, just write in the comments section, my celebrity pick or my celebrity shot, and we put it up on the board. Love this pick, everybody. 64% implied probability. Good trend over the last 4 games. This is a good play. I'm going to follow. I'm definitely following Dante on this one. It's not one I had pre-show, so I throw the asterisk next to it. Patrick Corbin, over 1.5 walks allowed. Great call. Great call. Nice job, Dante. Okay, a couple questions from Jorge. One about John Gray strikeouts, one about Dean Kramer, and Morton. Okay, so Jorge's got a bunch of questions about strikeouts. Let's dive into that one right now. Again, strikeouts are a little bit harder to predict, so I would definitely say be careful. I know we've seen over the last week, there was someone who cashed on like a parlay with a bunch of overs on strikeouts. Be very, very careful, especially when you see things like success like that on social media. Don't take the bait. A lot of those guys are pros, so be really careful where you see those. John Gray, over on strikeouts, 4.5 is a really strong implied probability here, and that's a very good trend. That's a really good trend. I know he's facing the Toronto Blue Jays. Really quick. Let's go to Fangraphs. We haven't done this in a little bit, but I am just curious, how have the Blue Jays done on the road against right-handed pitching? Do they have a high strikeout number? Yes, they do. 5th highest strikeout number, tied for the 5th. Actually, tied for the 4th. Most strikeouts against right-handed pitching on the road. So I absolutely love this play. I'm going to support this one by putting it up on our big board. John Gray over 4.5 strikeouts. And again, for all those who are new to the show, we don't just put out picks that come from our gut reactions. We love putting out picks that have trends. We only give out picks where we see a trend, data, analytics that supports it. This is one we like, John Gray. Okay, the next question was about Dean Kramer. Let's get to him. Dean Kramer on strikeouts. Baltimore Orioles pitcher, over 4.5, does have a good trend, but not a great implied probability. Has been cashing 5 straight games against the Cubs. What are the numbers? Not a lot. Not a lot of numbers against these Cub hitters. How about against right-handed pitching? This is a lineup that doesn't have a lot of big numbers. It's interesting, Morel is the only hitter with an above 300 average. That said, let's shift this over just a little bit so you can see the strikeouts on the right side. Let me zoom in on it too. You're looking for high percentages, and you're not seeing as many as you'd like. You'd actually like to see more in the 30s here. I'm not as crazy about this play. I know it's been a hot trend. How about how it's been on the road? 4 out of the last 5. This is a tricky one for me. I'm not as crazy about it. The over 3.5 at minus 265, it is a little chalky. I lean towards yes on this. I'm not going to put it up on my big board. Oh, I meant to show you guys the alternative line. Forgive me. The over 3.5, a little chalky for me. A little chalky at minus 265. But that doesn't mean this is a bad play. I'm not going to put it up on my big board. I lean towards yes. I can see him getting 5, but I'm just a little hesitant. Looking at our Ballpark Pal website in the Orioles Cubs games rather, home runs, overall runs, you're not seeing a big jump by the weather, but that's actually a good sign. Chicago's the kind of place where you actually expect to see negative numbers, high negative numbers across the board here. When you don't, that's actually a really good sign for offense because it's such a park that is so prone to actually containing the ball. So actually when you see a plus here with the home runs, it actually means that it's not a bad play. So for me, I wouldn't touch this one again. I would avoid it. Now, you had one more, and that was Charlie Morton. Let's look at Charlie Morton on strikeouts. Appreciate all those being with us. this is not a strong play. If we look at it from the over side, yes, it is hit in 3 of the last 4. I just think this is way too high. 7.5 seems way too high to me. I don't have that kind of confidence in Charlie Morton. Over 6.5 isn't a good play. Too chalky. How have the Rockies hitters done against him? Some guys have some numbers, actually. Profar, yeah, it's a 267 average, but a home run. 286 average by McMahon. Randall Grichuk actually really hits him well. We'll dive into that right after this. But for me, if I actually had to go in any direction on this, I might take the under 7.5. I'm actually more attracted to that. Again, I know this has been a good trend over the last few weeks, but against the Tigers, Diamondbacks, Phillies, Rangers, I don't know. Don't feel as strongly about the 7.5. By the way, look at it if I'm looking at it at home. Not a good trend. 3 out of the last 4 he's missed. I would take the under. I'm actually inclined here to take the under 7.5. I'm not going to put it up on my big board, but I am going to jot it down in my notes. Charlie Morton, under 7.5 strikeouts. That's one that actually has my attention. I'm probably at a 53% confidence level on it. Not high enough to put it up on the board. But under 7.5 strikeouts, that feels like a good play for me at, what is that, minus 112? I like that one a lot more than taking the over. But let's look at Randall Grichuk really quick, because as you saw, he has really good numbers against Charlie Morton. Can we get him on over half a hit and add him to our parlay? Yes, we can. 63% implied probability. Hasn't been a really good trend of late, but I love the matchup against Morton. I'll take the risk on that. Let's add that to our big board. Randall, 1L, Grichuk, over half a hit. Adding that to the big board, everybody. By the way, we hit 10,000 likes because you guys are absolutely amazing. So we have to give out another long ball, long shot of the day. Don't worry, we'll also get to your celebrity shots. I know a couple of you guys have thrown celebrity shots up there on the big board, or up there in the comment section rather, and they belong on our big board. So let me give out a home run pick, and then we'll put some celebrity shots up on the board. Next home run pick that I'm going to give out is going to be Freddie Freeman. If I go to that Dodgers game when it comes to the weather, there you see home runs really high up here, really high up. Love the opportunity to take home runs here. No doubt about where the wind's blowing out to right center. I also like the matchup for Freddie Freeman. Going up against Logan Webb. Let's go look at Freddie Freeman. Let's see what we can get and show the odds on that. By the way, to the question in the comments section, the website we're using that's up on our screen right now is called Outlier. If you want to get a free 7-day trial to it, DM us on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, Twitch, Kick, Twitter, whatever, and I will send you a free 7-day trial. It's not a sports book. Outlier is a really good resource for sports betting information, stats, analytics, and as you can see, it also allows for this comparison shopping amongst the different sports books, but it's a really good tool. It is not a sports book itself, but it's a really good tool to inform you and make you better for your sports picks. Now, if we look at Freddie Freeman on a home run, 15% implied probability. Obviously, we'd like that to be higher, but the plus 560 on a home run, love the odds on that. Couple home runs within the last week. Numbers against Logan Webb, lifetime. Freddie Freeman, talk about raking. 435 average. 435 average, that includes a home run. Love the opportunity to take Freddie Freeman today. Throw that one up on your big board for a home run play. Can we get him on half a hit? Nope, 1.5. Our luck ran out on that one. By the way, over 1.5 hits has not been a good, over 1.5 hits has not been a good play. So interestingly enough, do you want to take Freeman under 1.5 hits? I wouldn't, but just an interesting idea. Under 1.5 bases, also not a good play. Hits, runs, and RBIs is where we'll also take him. I'm taking the over 1.5 hits, runs, and RBIs on Freddie Freeman. I also want to look at what it would be to take him on over half a run. I'm kind of interested by that as well. Over half a run. 56% implied probability on the under, so I won't take it. But that's our Freddie Freeman play. I did put him up on our big board as a long ball, long shot of the day, as well as over 1.5 hits, runs, and RBIs. Joe, thank you for sharing the channel. Appreciate that. We have another stolen base to give out. The next player we think is going to get a stolen base today, we are going to take, this may sound crazy, but Kyle Tucker. Kyle Tucker actually has the most stolen bases for the Astros against right-handed pitching. Luke Weaver, who's the pitcher that the Astros will be facing today, is another pitcher who gives up stolen bases at a good rate. Let's show you Kyle Tucker to get a stolen base. Oh, he's not showing up. He's not showing up. Okay, I'll give out another one as well. Every time something like that happens, we don't hesitate. How about maybe the Astros? Are we not getting Astro players on the board? I'm kind of curious. That's interesting. Anyways, what about Whit Merrifield? Can we get Whit Merrifield on stolen bases? I like him today. Over half a stolen base. By the way, 27% implied probability on a stolen base is a really good number, everybody. I can get it at plus 275. Whit Merrifield does have a couple stolen bases over the last week. And again, John Gray is not a good pitcher at holding runners. Whit Merrifield is another play that I like. Now, if I like him to get a stolen base, can we get him on half a hit or half a stolen base? Let's just see it. Let's look at bases first. It's 1.5. I don't like that. What about over half a hit? Nope, it's 1.5. So the only thing we're taking with Whit Merrifield is the stolen base, everybody. Okay, Top Dog has a celebrity shot that he wants to throw up on the big board. Let's get Top Dog on the celebrity big board. That said, Top Dog is now 12-7, everybody. He's starting to enter into follow territory. So everyone, keep your eye on what we're about to throw up here related to Top Dog's pick. If you want your celebrity shot put up on the big board, just write in the comment section, my celebrity shot or my celebrity pick, and we'll throw it up there. He is taking the Phillies, first 5 on the money line. There you go, Top Dog, first 5 on the money line. The matchup today for the Phillies, Zach Wheeler against Hogan Harris. So there you go. Not a lot of info on Hogan Harris. Let's go to that game really quick. I like the Phillies on the money line. It's interesting you're taking on the first 5. Obviously, the money line at a minus 240 isn't a great play. Hogan Harris, high ERA, 6.46, really bad. So I would take the Phillies on the money line. And again, this is one that is just a leg of a parlay. It's not great odds, so it's not necessarily one that you want to take on its own. But it's a good money line play if you want to share it with a couple other legs of a parlay. YA Tittle out, and Henderson is leading off. Let's go, Gunnar Henderson. Okay, Jorge wants to throw up a celebrity shot. Jorge went 2-0 yesterday, and Jorge is now 14-6, absolutely in follow territory for all those out there watching. So let's go, Jorge. What you got for us? Jorge is putting John Gray over 4.5 strikeouts up on the big board. Let's go. Now we had John Gray. We took that over as well. So Jorge, whether you're following us or we're following you, we're all about it. Doghouse Breaks, you have a couple questions. Braves 9.5 under, and then the Padres under. Let's look at the Braves first. Going to the Braves game. You're looking at the over-under 9.5 runs, and you're asking about the under 9.5. By the way, you were asking about the under 9.5. Okay, good. Now, hasn't been as consistent a trend of late. Chase Anderson actually has a good ERA. He's one of the few Rocky pitchers that actually has a good ERA. And then on the other side, Charlie Morton. I know the win-loss record isn't great, but 3.60 ERA isn't terrible for him. If I look at how Rockies hitters have done against Morton, we showed this a moment ago. Randall Grichuk really stands out. On the other side, against Chase Anderson, these Braves hitters don't have great numbers. The only one who stands out is Ronald Acuna Jr., who does have one home run. His one hit was a home run. Now, Marcell Ozuna also has a home run against him, but bad numbers since 2018. So if we had our eye on anybody, it would be Ronald Acuna Jr. just as a player. But interesting that both pitchers kind of stand out for being a good underplay today. I'm not crazy about the under 9.5. Can I get under 10.5? Yes, I can at minus 160. So you guys know, Butt Fumble Sports doesn't like to have its ass on the line. We like to get ourselves a little bit of extra security. So I take alternative lines. I try to not make them too chalky. So like a minus 200 or minus 220, we usually don't go that far. But if I can get something for just a little bit of extra security, one extra run of security, and I can get that at minus 160, I would take that. So even though this may be a game you think about taking the over just because of kind of the brand names between the Rockies and the Braves, also look at the weather. Look at the weather at Truist Park. Home runs, the likelihood is down. Overall extra base hits, the likelihood is down. Overall runs, the likelihood is down. So I actually really do like this one. Not one I expected to put up on my big board, but we do the research, we find good trends. We'll throw up here Rockies, Braves, under, and again, I'm taking it at 10.5, an alternative line there. I love what we just found. That's some really good research. Doghouse Breaks, good job, good question. Let's also now look at the Padres under 9. Padres under 9. And that's the Rays and Padres under 9 runs. Now, this has been very consistent on the Rays side, actually. They've hit a bit of an offensive slide here a little bit, or maybe some good pitching as well. But they've been held down to under 9. On the other side, same can kind of be said about the Padres. These are two lineups that just aren't delivering as many runs as maybe we would have expected given the brand names that are in those lineups. Yonny Chirinos, again, he's probably going to be like an opener. Maybe he goes a full 5 innings. I'm not quite sure. Depending on how he goes, sometimes they keep him to 3 innings. Sometimes they let him stretch it out. He does have a good ERA, really good whip. Anytime you see a whip under 1, that's really strong. On the other side, Joe Musgrove. Now, I did want to call out Joe Musgrove a little bit because I'm just a little concerned about him. He hasn't been as good this year. Again, the whip, 1.31. The ERA, 4.37. I actually do kind of like the Rays today if I had to take them on the money line. But when it comes to the total, the one thing I would say is, let's get a hook in our favor. It's set at 9, so if 9 runs are scored, it's a push. We don't make any money. Let's get a hook in our favor. Even if I take under 9.5. Under 9.5 at minus 150. How about under 10? Under 10 is going off at minus 175. Under 10.5 is minus 195. So this is what I'm actually going to do. I'm going to draw, and you guys will see me do this. Sometimes I'll lay 3 different plays all on the same game, and I'm kind of tripling down on something. I'm going to do that for this one. Rays, Padres, under. I'm going to take 9.5. I'm going to take under 10. And I'll even take under 10.5. If I like it under 9.5, I like it under 10, and I like it under 10.5. And with all of those, I'm getting that at under minus 200 odds. Now, again, I'm not betting all 3 of them obviously on the same ticket or anything like that, but maybe you want to sprinkle them into parlays. Rays, Padres under 10.5. Combine that with, let's say, a Mike Trout over half a hit, a Hunter Renfroe over half a hit, a Gunnar Henderson over half a hit. Just ways that you can bring that minus number all the way to a plus number. Just things we can do. And by the way, ways we can do that without taking unnecessary risk. Sometimes people try to get that plus bet by taking a chance on something that actually doesn't have a good probability. If you take a 3-leg parlay of 3 things that have a good probability and you combine them together, that's how you make a good bet, everybody. I know we have a celebrity shot that we need to get up on the big board. I think I was missing it earlier. If there are any celebrity shots that I missed, just throw them up on the big board. If I've missed any of them, I want to make sure I get to them. Appreciate all of you guys asking your questions, getting involved in the show. You guys are absolutely awesome. Top Dog has a question about the White Sox and the Mariners, and the answer I'll just give out in my pick. I'll give out the pick to answer your question, because this is one I like. White Sox, Mariners, no run in the first inning. No run in the first inning. Where I saw it, the likelihood of a run in the first inning is 42.5%, so we are taking no run in the first inning. So, Chris, for those who are new to the show, if there's a bullet point next to the pick, it means I did my research last night or prior to the show. It's a pick I already had it loaded up. It's a pick that I liked. I did my research. I was ready before the show to give it out. If there's an asterisk next to it, it means that someone asked a question, someone gave their own celebrity shot, we did our research and we found it was a good play. So I like to distinguish those, which ones I had ready for you, and which ones kind of came about organically through the show. So Rockies Braves under 10.5. It's not a game I was looking at to take the under. We looked at the trends. We looked at the starting pitchers. Saw it was a good play. Wanted to put it up on our big board, but don't want to put them all together because that suggests we all had it loaded up. We don't want to make that kind of, we want to distinguish them so you guys are just knowledgeable about how we're playing it. Okay, the next one we got. The next one we got is Jonah Heim. Let's go to Heim. Catcher for the Texas Rangers. Hope you guys are having as much fun as I am. I can't believe I always say this, but we're 45 minutes into the show, and I feel like it flies. Hope you guys are having a ton of fun. Keep hitting that like button. Keep sharing the channel. We will continue to hand out long ball, long shots of the day, as well as stealing and sharing stolen base picks of the day. So Heim, bases, not a good play. What were we looking at with Heim was hits, runs, and RBIs. Let's look at that. Can we get over half a hit? Yes, we can actually, and this is a really good play, really good trend. So I'm just going to throw that one up here immediately upon seeing it. Jonah Heim, over half a hit. Good trend on this. Righty-lefty matchup. Stats against Chris Bassett, lifetime, 0 for 6. That's the only concern. He is 0 for 6 lifetime. That's not a good trend, but recently has been a good trend. By the way, that 0 for 6 does have a couple strikeouts mixed in there. Upon seeing the 0 for 6, I don't like hits, runs, and RBIs, I'll tell you that. And neither does the implied probability. So I like the over half a hit. I don't like the hits, runs, and RBIs. And wouldn't you know, IP Shade 45 comes through, and we are blessed with some confetti. So because the confetti rains down on us, we're about to rain down some picks on you guys. So here we go. Here are a couple more picks for you guys. Hope you're paying attention. Next pick we're going to give out is going to be the Orioles, Cubs, yes to a run in the first inning. So that's another pick we like. Likelihood that this happens, likelihood that a run is scored in the first inning between the Orioles and Cubs, we saw it 55.6%. Anytime I see that number above 55%, I take it. So Orioles, Cubs, yes to a run in the first inning. And we will also, we talked about this game, Angels, Royals on the over 8.5. You guys probably aren't going to be surprised when you see Angels, Royals, yes to a run in the first inning. That one has an implied probability of 54.4%. Not quite to the 55, but that's fine with us. We'll also take a run in the first inning on that. IP Shade 45, thank you as always for supporting the show. By the way, Drew7382 just shared the show, so we have another pick to give out. This one a stolen base pick. By the way, I think I have another home run pick to give out. Where are we on those likes? Let's see what the likes are at. I think we probably owe you guys a long ball, long shot of the day. So while we're just being generous, let's give them all out. Our next stolen base pick of the day, we are going to go with Bobby Witt Jr. Now, probably not surprised. This is one in which you can see him almost on the board every single day, much like Eli De La Cruz, Bobby Witt Jr., but especially today. Actually, Tyler Anderson, I know it's a lefty on the mound for the Los Angeles Angels, but Tyler Anderson's another pitcher who struggles to hold runners. We have a bunch of them on the bump today. Bobby Witt Jr. is another player we like to get a stolen base. Let's give out another long ball, long shot of the day, everybody. We've hit 10,000 likes, so we've got a fifth long ball, long shot of the day to give out. And the next one is going to be Lane Thomas. Lane Thomas of the Washington Nationals. Let me show you why I'm crazy about Lane Thomas today. And yes, if you go to our website, buttfumblesports.com, and you check out our DFS lineup, again, another name you're going to see, make sure you go to our website and check out that DFS lineup. That way you can build your lineup along with us. But let's look at Lane Thomas of the Nationals. Let's look at him to get a home run. By the way, he could be someone who could get a stolen base as well. But a home run, you could get it at plus 520. And if we look at, I want to show you at half a hit, I'm absolutely taking this as well. By the way, everybody, what do we call something that is this consistent? What do we call it when it's this much green come across the screen? We call this a lawn, everybody. The only thing missing is a little bit of dirt patch here, But just like Jorge wrote, this is a lawn. That's so much green, we got to ride with it. And against Jesus Luzardo, you want ownership? Put a collar around Jesus Luzardo and call Lane Thomas his owner, because 13 at-bats, a .462 average, that includes 2 home runs. So not only is Lane Thomas red hot with hits over his last 10 games, he also absolutely owns Jesus Luzardo. You can jump on the board on this one. So we're taking Lane Thomas to hit a home run, but we're also taking Lane Thomas. This is a pick we had prior to the show. Lane Thomas over half a hit. Again, these over half a hit plays you may want to add into a 2-3 leg parlay because you're not going to get great odds on them. But this is minus 195. I'm thrilled with that. Can I get over 1.5 hits, runs, and RBIs? You bet I can. And once again, really good trend. 8 out of the last 10 games, minus 130 on it. You want this on the board. Lane Thomas over 1.5 hits, plus runs, plus RBIs. By the way, given that we like him on stolen bases, or on hits rather, let's just see what he is on stolen bases, because he's a pretty good stolen base play as well. 15% implied probability. You could get it at plus 560. I'm not putting it up on my big board, but just be mindful of the fact Lane Thomas is a great play today, a great play across the board. He is someone who, if you have a DFS lineup, if you play DFS, Lane Thomas is someone you want in that DFS lineup. If you want to see who else I have on my DFS lineup, go to our website, buttfumblesports.com. Christopher, so great to have you as a member of the Butt Fumble Sports community. Hope all of those who are watching share the channel, join the community, make sure you're following and subscribing. Now, Christopher comes with a question. Would you do Trout over 2.5 hits, runs, and RBIs? It's tough for me because I love the matchup against Zach Greinke. I probably wouldn't. I probably would fade it. It's tough because where is my confidence level on it? It's kind of at like 53%, which is just above a coin flip and just below the 55% threshold to make it onto my big board. So what I would say, Chris, is I lean towards yes, but I don't have enough conviction behind it to actually encourage you to take it, especially since I can get it at over 1.5. Because I can get it at over 1.5, why would I chase the 2? Yes, I get the better odds, but in reality, if I take it at over 1.5 and I add Lane Thomas over half a hit, or I add Hunter Renfroe over half a hit, or I add one of these other plays, a 2-leg parlay does just as much as raising the stakes from 1.5 to 2.5 on hits, runs, and RBIs. So that was answering Chris's question about Mike Trout and how we handle the 2.5 hits, runs, and RBIs. We have a celebrity shot to throw on our big board, and this one comes from Tito's Full Send. And look out, everybody. Tito's Full Send's on a bit of a hot streak, now up to 7-4. Hopefully it gets up to 9-4 today. Let's check out Tito's Full Send's celebrity shot of the day, everybody. Yours is going to be Rockies Braves under 9.5. Rockies Braves under 9.5. So we do have some of you guys starting to tail us, or maybe we're tailing you. But either way, those are some of the picks that we have so far up on the board. Again, everybody gets 2 celebrity shots. I don't care where you're watching. Twitch, Kick, YouTube, TikTok Live. Everyone is invited to participate. If you want to play along at home, be a part of our show every day. You can add your celebrity shot to the big board. Just write in the comment section, my celebrity pick or my celebrity shot. We keep track of it every single day. Keep the records. That way you guys can always be a part of it. But if you guys got them, make sure you get them in the comment section. We're all about it. By the way, once we get up to 12,000 likes, we will give out another long ball long shot of the day. Man, we are crushing it today with all of you guys supporting the show. Jorge is asking about Miller over strikeouts and Lynn under strikeouts. So Miller over strikeouts and Lynn under strikeouts. Let's go look at that for Jorge. Okay, we're looking at Miller. Bryce Miller, pitcher for the Mariners. You're looking at strikeouts. The over and under have the same implied probability at 51%. That always has me hesitant. Not a good trend here. Not a good trend. Don't have any good data on it. Against the White Sox, do they have any numbers lifetime against him? Nope. Against right-handed pitching this year, if we just look at how the White Sox have done against right-handed pitching, no, there aren't a lot of good averages. There are some guys who have high strikeout numbers, but the trend doesn't give me any confidence in this one. So I would say avoid Bryce Miller on strikeouts. Not worth it to me. Not worth it to me. Let's go on the other side. Let's look at Lance Lynn. Do we like Lance Lynn on under strikeouts? Interestingly enough, the implied probability suggests the over at 52%. I would have thought 6.5 strikeouts seems really high to me, especially when he hasn't hit it in 5 straight games. I'm really surprised. Does Lance Lynn have really good numbers against the Seattle Mariners? Hernandez struggles against him. Crawford struggles against him. So there are a couple hitters. The larger sample sizes do have high strikeout percentages against him. Something to be mindful of. That's the reason the implied probability is on the over. But to me, the under's the better play. Can I get under 7.5? No, I can only get under 6.5. I lean towards the over on the. I lean towards taking this one. I like under 6.5. Again, I'm not going to put it up on my big board. I'm being scared away by that implied probability just a little bit. But Lance Lynn, under 6.5 strikeouts, I'm just writing in my notes because I want to keep track of that to see if we missed on a cashing bet tomorrow. But to me, I'm a little cautious on this one. The answer is Jorge. If I were you, I don't think it's a bad play. It's just not one I'm going to jump headfirst into. Okay, interesting play coming from Tyler. Tyler, let's look at that one as we get to the big board on it. Ruiz, and you're saying under 1.5 hits, runs, and RBIs. Under 1.5 hits, runs, and RBIs. Interesting play. Very interesting play from Tyler. A creative one for his celebrity shot. We don't usually get a lot of underplays on hits, runs, and RBIs. By the way, Tyler's record so far this year, 3-2. Let's see if we can get to 4-2. And that is Keibert Ruiz, under 1.5 hits, plus runs, plus RBIs. And you can get that underplay at minus 115. Interesting play, everybody. Tyler, you're up on the big board, buddy. If you want your celebrity pick up on the board, let us know. Tito's Full Send has another one he wants up on the big board. This next one is the Oakland Athletics, and he is taking the A's Athletics plus 2.5. And by the way, that's actually been a really good play for us over the last week and a half, is the Athletics plus 2.5. Let's go look at that one. We're looking at the Oakland A's plus 2.5. It's plus 1.5 here, but let's look at the alternative line of plus 2.5 for the A's. By the way, that's minus 135 play, so not bad. And you can see, over the last 10, 8 of the last 10 this has hit. And on the other side, for Philly, they haven't cashed too many on this. As in, they haven't been covering the 2.5 too frequently. So this might be one I want to follow. Zach Wheeler, the 5-4 record, the whip a bit higher than we'd like. On the other side, Hogan Harris, we talked about him. Is he an opener? Is he a young starter? We're not quite sure. Against left-handed pitching this year, there are some hitters in this Philly lineup who have hit well. By the way, we should circle back on Nick Castellanos on a player prop bet. That's one we got to circle back on for sure, given how he hits against lefties. On the other side, Oakland A's against Zach Wheeler. Hey, Bleday and Peterson have good numbers, and they're the only ones that go against him. I'm going to throw this one up on the big board as well. I kind of like this play. I'm going to follow Tito's Full Send. And no, it's not a pick that I had prior to the show, but it's been a good trend of late. I'll take Oakland Athletics at plus 2.5. And again, I'm getting that at minus 135. Not a bad play for me. Now, I will double down on this one, and I will give you guys a pick that I did have prior to the show that I do love about this game, just giving this one out for free. I do like Phillies, Athletics, no run in the first inning. No run in the first inning on this one. The implied probability on this I saw at 45%, 45.3 to get a run in the first inning. Again, anytime I see 55%, I like a run in the first inning. Anytime I see 45% or worse, I like the no run. So I'm taking no run in the Phillies Athletics in that first inning. Tito's got it at plus 115. Love it, Tito's. Way to get that. That's a great job by you. Good play. Good play. When you guys find good odds for it, I love seeing that. Just shows you guys are really working the sports books. That's what we like to see here. Don't give them the opportunities. You take advantage of every opportunity you get. Big shout out to all of those who are joining us today on this Father's Day. Welcome to our show. Butt Fumble Sports is live every single day, talking sports, giving out picks, talking fantasy sports, and of course ranting about everything that's going on in the world of sports. Want to give a big shout out to all the fathers out there. Happy Father's Day. And of course, I want to give a big shout out to my dad. Thank you so much for being the greatest supporter in my life, for supporting my sports media dreams since I was a little one. Thank you so much for all that you do. And for all the dads out there, there is nothing like a game of catch. It is what has preserved so many young kids' dreams. And I want to just say thank you to all the dads out there for all you do. You're special. You're special. So with that said, welcome back into our show. We are 1 hour in, 1 hour to go. If you missed any of our picks, by the way, first of all, we put up our entire show after we're done being live. So if you want to go to YouTube and catch all the picks we've given out, all the research, you can always do that. I will also post all of our picks onto our website, buttfumblesports.com. I'll post all of these picks after the show, so if you missed any, we'll get them in. The only problem with that is I'll get off a little bit early today, so it'll give you guys time to see it. But a lot of 1 p.m. games today, so it's better to watch the show live. That way you can see all these picks unfold right in front of you. Tito's Full Send is being smart. 4 different sports books. That's smart. Rusty, welcome to the Butt Fumble Sports community. Great to have you here. If you've got a celebrity shot, let us know. Chris, who just joined the Butt Fumble Sports community, he's got a pick. So, Chris, get ready. You're about to join the prestigious honor of joining the Butt Fumble Sports Celebrity Shot Big Board. So that is Christopher making his first celebrity shot pick ever. Let's see if he starts 1-0, everybody. He is going to go with Stephen Kwan over 1.5 hits, runs, and RBIs. Stephen Kwan over 1.5 hits, plus runs, plus RBIs. Let's see why Christopher may like this play, and let's see if it's one that we want to follow. So Stephen Kwan, hits, runs, and RBIs has a really good implied probability here at 63%. Good job by Christopher finding a good trend. How has it been of late? Not as hot of late. But against Zach Davies, is there something that gives us a lot of inspiration? No, actually. Only 1 at bat. So interesting that this has such a strong implied probability, and yet it hasn't been that strong a trend of late. In fact, over his last 6 games, it's only hit 2 times. So kind of interested that the over is such a strong play. Not going to put it up on my big board, but love that Chris found it. Maybe the implied probability and Chris are both onto something here. Tito's Full Send, you know that's right. That's how you got to do it to win long term. Okay, Doghouse Breaks is asking about the over in the Cubs game. Jorge, don't worry, I'll get to your question in just 1 second. But first, let's get to Doghouse Breaks, and let's look at that Cubs game. Do we like the over? Do we like the over? Now, first, let's look at the weather, actually. So, in that Cubs game, as we showed, the weather suggests not a lot of assistance from the weather, but actually, I mentioned earlier, every time this number is +0, it actually is good for home runs, good for offense, because usually Chicago is a tough place to play with that wind. So anytime the weather isn't in the negatives, like a negative -20 or a negative -11 like we're seeing in some other games, that actually kind of tells us that we like offense in this one. So that's just a little clue there. As for the over, first of all, I don't like it at 9. I want to take an alternative line. So if I'm going to take it anywhere, by the way, over 7.5 is at -160. Over 7.5 is at -160. Let's just keep that in mind. Now, it hasn't been a great trend of late. 50% of the time it's hit for the Orioles. 60% of the time it's hit for the Cubs. That's both over the last 10 games. How about if we look head-to-head? Not a great trend either. Not a great trend either. Let's look at the starting pitchers. Kramer, 4.74 ERA. Tyone, 6.70 ERA. That's more helpful because Tyone has not been good this year. Oriole hitters against Tyone, Urias, Mateo, and Hayes have all hit him well. By the way, we'll get to Austin Hayes in a moment. I like him for a player prop bet. But if we were going to, But if we were going to then look on the other side and at the Cubs, how they done against Kramer, not a lot of numbers. I'm not crazy about this game. I'm not going to put it up on my big board. But what I would say is if you are going to take it, if you are going to take this game, take it at the 7.5. 7.5 at minus 160, that's not too chalky. That's a much better play. But taking it at over 9, that's a mistake. You don't have a hook working in your favor. 9's a high number. If you're going to take it, minus 160, not a bad play. And again, if you take it and you add one of our half a hit plays as a way of kind of adding to the parlay, a 2-leg parlay where you're taking, say you take the over 7.5 and you take over half a hit for Gunnar Henderson. Doesn't that seem to make sense? I just feel like that's a good way that you can turn those odds into something that's a bit more favorable. Again, I'm not going to throw this one up on the big board, but just to answer the question for Doghouse Breaks 2, I don't like it at the 8.5 like you said. I really like it at the 7.5. That's what I would take it at. Chris, the website we use to view these trends is called Outlier. It's called Outlier. If you want a free 7-day trial, DM us on Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, YouTube, whatever. Send us a message. We'll send you a free 7-day trial. Again, it's not a sports book. It's just one of the best tools for sports betting information, data analytics, and actually the thing that I like most, and you guys hear me talk about this a lot, it shows you what the different sports books are offering, so you can find the best odds, do some comparison shopping, and that way you're always taking the best bet at the best price. That's why I think Outlier is such a great tool. No problem, Doghouse Breaks. By the way, Jeremy Todd, you're so right. Soto did us so dirty yesterday. I was so disappointed by that. There were a couple players over the last few days who have kind of laid an egg for us. Matt Chapman 2 days ago, Juan Soto yesterday. We're hoping that those guys we're done with that. Alexander, great to see you. Hope you're having a wonderful day. Okay, there was a question about, do we like the Cubs run in the first inning? Do we like the Cubs with a run in the first inning? Yes, we do. Already threw it up on our big board. Yes, we do. Definitely a play that we like. Alexander, love the sentiment. Happy Father's Day to all the dads out there. Hope all you dads are having a wonderful day. And as I say to you guys every day, I am so grateful that you come to Butt Fumble Sports for sports info, entertainment, and for all the dads out there. I hope we're giving you a lot of entertainment and fun for your Father's Day. Jorge, you asked a question a moment ago about Shohei Ohtani and Seager over 1.5 bases. Let's go look at it. First of all, Shohei Ohtani has been scorching hot of late. Implied probability on over 1.5 bases is a good play, and it has been red hot. Everybody, say it with me now. When we see 9 games in a row, what do we call this? What do we call all this green shown up in a row? We call it a lawn, everybody. He just has a little bit of a dirt patch here on the left side, but we call this a lawn. And Shohei Ohtani has been raking of late. I'm going to take the over 1.5 bases. Now, here's the only concern. Against Zach Greinke, not good numbers. However, here's one thing that is encouraging. He doesn't have a big strikeout percentage. That actually is something I really like. Anytime you see someone who doesn't have a high average, but he also doesn't have a high strikeout rate, it means he's making contact. Maybe he's unlucky. Maybe it doesn't mean he's not seeing the ball well. It means maybe he's just getting outs where other times he's getting hits. I do like the over. I will throw this up on the big board. It's been too consistent a play for me to not take this. Shohei Ohtani over 1.5 bases between his home runs and his doubles. It's been cashing. Let's look at hits, runs, and RBIs. This is at 2.5, and that's why we like the 1.5 bases. Because because hits, runs, and RBIs is at 2.5. I said yesterday, I don't care that it's at 2.5. We'll take it anyways. We don't feel that way about today. Today, 2.5 is a little too high given his lack of success against Greinke. Over half a hit isn't there. So the only one I would suggest for Shohei Ohtani is over 1.5 bases. By the way, for those who are throwing celebrity shots in the big board or in the comment section, don't worry. We will get to those in 1 second. But I also wanted to look at Corey Seager. Corey Seager, and you were asking again about bases. Not as good a play here. Now, it hasn't been very consistent, rather. Over the last 5, it has. But over the last 10, no, it has not. How about his numbers against Chris Bassett? Lifetime, 0 for 3. So unlike Shohei Ohtani, I'm willing to overlook the bad stats against Greinke because the recent trend has been so strong. But in the case of Corey Seager, the 5-game trend is there. The 10-game trend is not. Andy doesn't have great numbers against the pitcher. It's not that I don't like Corey Seager today. There are just other players I like more. So I'd actually probably avoid this play. Can I get him on over half a hit? No, I can't. What about hits, runs, and RBIs? It's at 2.5. So for me, I don't dislike Corey Seager today if you're playing him in fantasy. But actually, when it comes to a player prop, I'm probably not going to take him. Nothing I really like. By the way, not only was the Dodgers game brutal as a bet, but it was just awful to watch. Like, I expected the Dodgers to have, like, some fight offensively, and therefore we would cash in a couple of tickets on them. The Dodgers just laid an egg. They just totally pooped their pants last night. I do expect the Dodgers to bounce back. I will give out this pick. I actually do like the Dodgers on the money line tonight. I'll give this one out. Dodgers on the money line. I love the pitching matchup. I know it's Logan Webb against Tony Gonsolin. You may think Logan Webb is a really good pitcher. He is, but Tony Gonsolin has been better. Tony Gonsolin's actually been the better pitcher, especially at home. Tony Gonsolin at home has a 3-0 record, a 1.66 ERA, and opponents have just a 154 average against him, while Webb on the road, 3-3, a 4.01 ERA, and opponents have 7 home runs against him. I like the Dodgers on the money line. I think they bounce back, especially after such an ugly game yesterday. Okay, another one we're putting up on the board is another celebrity shot from Christopher. Again, if you guys want your favorite picks of the day, put up on the screen, right in the comment section, my celebrity shot, and then what the pick is. Everybody gets 2. Everybody gets 2. So this is going to be Yankees, Red Sox, yes, to a run the first inning for the second game of the day. The doubleheader for the Red Sox and Yankees. So the second game is what Christopher is taking. Now, I will just say, Christopher, one little bit of warning. The weather in the early game could be advantageous for runs overall. Maybe not home runs, but runs overall. In that second game, though, weather not as favorable for runs. So just be mindful of that. The second game, which is the Sunday Night Baseball game, not as good an opportunity for overall runs. Just something to be mindful of. And by the way, Tito's full send, bing bong. Always got to give Tito's full send his bing bong. He loves that. Okay, Alexander, is that a celebrity shot or is that your pick of the day? Or rather, is that a question? Alexander's got a WNBA pick up there. I don't know if it's a celebrity shot or if it's just a question, but let's look at it. Atlanta Dream, plus 1.5. That's what you threw up there. I don't know if it's a pick or a question. Fever have a bit of a good streak going. 3-4 over their last 4. You know what's interesting about this one? This game opened at even and has shifted over time towards the Fever. That's just interesting to me because not a lot of people bet the WNBA. So when you see line movement, it usually means that it's sharp money. It usually means that it's Vegas bettors that are putting that money down, not the overall public. Just something to be mindful of. I'm not saying that means you don't like your play, Alexander, but just something to be mindful of. The WNBA at 12:30 in the morning, 1:20 in the morning, usually isn't getting line movement unless it's coming from Vegas. So actually, I'm kind of leaning in the other direction on this one. I kind of like Indiana to cover. And again, I'm only doing it off of that line movement. And I'm actually trying to follow the Sharks rather than fade them. I know you're someone who likes to fade the public, but... Oh, Alexander, that's your celebrity shot, so let's throw it up on the board, everybody. Alexander's adding his celebrity shot to the big board. Alexander is 1-4, but Alexander's 1-4 is a bit deceiving because Alexander likes taking plays in which he's fading the public. So the Alexander 1-4 is a bit deceiving. I understand he has a different strategy than most of you. He's actually not trying to cash every ticket. He's trying to cash tickets that he thinks are really advantageous. I know that's why he's a bit of a different bettor. I hope I did you justice there, Alexander. I hope you appreciate me giving you that extra love on that 1-4 record. By the way, Harley, I don't think Pepsi's better than Coke, but the pizza place I order from, they're a Pepsi product company, or a Pepsi product place. So no, I am pro Coke over Pepsi, but it's what I'm doing today. By the way, Sammy J, great question. It is called ballparkpal.com. Ballparkpal.com is the website we use for weather. And by the way, this is a free website. It uses models to see how the weather is going to impact scoring, but there's a lot more going on here. Game simulations, that's where we get a lot of our information from for how runs are going to be scored. We do player props. We look at the different odds across the sports books, not necessarily people we always take who are up here at the top, because sometimes these are just up here for, as it says, it's simulated, but it's not always ranked according to who's the best, but we keep our eye on that. And actually, for DFS, this website's really great as well. You get a good sense of what players are going to average when it comes to their DFS lineups. By the way, you think we like Gunnar Henderson today? He's got the best possible daily fantasy ranking according to DraftKings. One of the reasons we love Gunnar Henderson. That said, if you want to see my DraftKings, you want to see my DFS lineup, go to our website, buttfumblesports.com. No surprise, Gunnar Henderson is our cover man of the day. But if you want to see our DFS lineup, just go to our website, buttfumblesports.com. Check out the entire website while you're there, all of our content. No problem, Sammy J. Okay, Y.A. Tittle. Y.A. Tittle is throwing up his celebrity shot of the day, and Y.A. Tittle, 24, by the way, is doing it a bit different, and therefore we're going to give him a bit more credibility, just like we're doing with Alexander. He's taking a long ball, long shot of the day. He's taking Mookie Betts over half a home run. And again, this one, if it misses, we treat it with a grain of salt because we know longer shot odds on this one. But love seeing your name up there on the big board, Y.A. Tittle. Oh, thank you, Jorge, for reminding me. We have Austin Hayes to get to. Austin Hayes is someone I really like today. So let's go look at him. Austin Hayes. He has really good numbers against the pitcher he'll be facing today. Let's look at him. Can we get over half a hit? Yes, we can, everybody. And look at how consistent this has been. You guys know what we call this. We call this a lawn, everybody. We call this a lawn. This is a really good play right here. Only one miss over the last 10 games. Love what I'm seeing there. And against Tyone, what do we have? A 500 average in 6 at-bats. Now, he doesn't have a home run, so I don't like him on a long ball, long shot of the day necessarily. But when it comes to a over half a hit, even though it's very chalky at minus 245, guys, throw this up there as one of our favorite plays of the day. And absolutely, you want to combine it with some of our other over half a hit plays. Mike Trout over half a hit and Austin Hayes over half a hit. Maybe that's a good 2-leg parlay for you guys. But no matter how you put it together, Austin Hayes over half a hit is a good play. Can we get over 1.5 hits, runs, and RBIs? You betcha, and we like this one as well. Been a good trend, actually. Really good trend. 7 out of the last 9 this has hit. So we'll throw this one up there as well. Austin Hayes over 1.5 hits plus runs plus RBIs. Okay, everybody. We have about 35 minutes left of our show. About a half hour left of our show. So make sure you guys are throwing in your questions, comments, and everything else. Jeremy Todd, we did not do as well as we would have liked yesterday on our runs in the first inning. Our overall game, MLB game player picks did not do well. 3-6 yesterday. We were on a hot streak. We were doing really well on these over the last few days. Our luck finally ran out on those. Our player prop bets did really well, though. And that's what got us above 500 for the day. But yeah, yesterday, not a great day for us, but our stealing is sharing did really well. Long balls, long shots of the day did really well. And you guys did really well. By the way, we have hit 14,000 likes, I believe. We have another long ball, long shot of the day to give out. Now, this one, I am putting an asterisk next to it. I have not seen James Paxton in the rotation today for the Red Sox. If he is in the rotation, so I'm putting this as kind of a note to everybody. If James Paxton pitches for the Red Sox, I'm not saying he will. If James Paxton pitches, Josh Donaldson has really good numbers. That's if James Paxton pitches. I don't think he will. I'm just putting it out there because he was supposed to start the Saturday game. I had Donaldson loaded up. Obviously didn't play. I'm just letting you guys know so you can keep track of it. However, I am looking at another player to hit a home run. By the way, I am also looking at Dalton Varsho. Dalton Varsho of the Blue Jays. Let's look at him. I like him to hit a home run. Dalton Varsho to hit a home run. 18% implied probability. I could get it at plus 450. Did have a home run yesterday, and I do like the matchup against John Gray. Lifetime, 286 average with a home run. So, there you go, everybody. There you go. Dalton Varsho up on our big board. Appreciate all of you guys joining us. Big shout out to you. Monkey Man. Exactly. Mitch Trubisky is the best quarterback forever. What? How did Mitch Trubisky get into our comment section? Oh, man. Jorge has a parlay. Randall Grichuk over half a hit. I like that. Renfroe over half a hit. I like that. Hayes over half a hit. Lane Thomas over half a hit. Jorge, I hope you follow us to success. I would hate for one of those to bust. I'll say it this way. Put down some... I would do... think about it like a horse race. Think about you want to box kind of 3 plays. Box 4 plays. So one of the things I would say is, don't just take that one. Kind of make 3 bets. Make 4 bets. And I'm not trying to get you guys to overbet. But what I would say is, I do love what you put out there, Jorge. But maybe you want to pull out Renfroe and throw in Trout and make another play. Maybe you want to pull out Hayes and throw in Gunnar Henderson and make another play. That way you're kind of mixing and matching for the over half a hit. By the way, all of them could cash. So just because one cashes doesn't mean you're actually knocking the other. But YA Tittle 24, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Trifecta box it, baby. That's exactly right. Say there are 3 or 4 plays that you like, but you don't want to say it's an exacta. You don't want to say this is exactly what's going to happen. Put around some different bets. Hunter Renfroe, Trout, Henderson, Lane Thomas, and Hayes. Maybe you just find different pairings to take them 2, 3, 4 leg parlays, but that way you're not overloaded on just one bet. Now, IP Shade 45, let's get the broom, everybody. IP Shade 45 just gave us some confetti. We need to get the broom out here and clean up all this confetti on the floor. You guys know what confetti means. When we get confetti, we give out picks. So let's give out some more picks today. We have more picks to give out. Next one we're giving out, Giants, Dodgers, yes to a run in the first inning. Giants and Dodgers, yes to a run in the first inning. I'm seeing that at 54.4% implied probability. I am jumping all over that one. So we have given out Angels and Royals, yes to a run in the first inning. We have given out White Sox and Mariners, no run in the first inning. We've given out Orioles and Cubs, yes to a run in the first inning. Dodgers and Giants, yes to a run in the first inning. We have also given out A's, Phillies, no run in the first inning. Now we have one more run first inning play to give out. One more run in the first inning, but this is going to be a no run in the first inning. and I'll put it down here. We are going to take, I should have done this. Just doing some editing so we have it all in a good place for you guys to see all these plays. So the next one we're going to give out, the last one when it comes to runs in the first inning is going to be a no run. This is going to be Rays, Padres, and I'm saying no run in the first inning. Rays and Padres, no run in the first inning. I actually should put it here. Yoink. Let's put it underneath that game. There you go. Rays, Padres, no run in the first inning. So that's a pick we just gave out. Thank you so much, IP Shade 45. Those are all of the first run plays that we like today. Those are all of them, everybody. So you've got all of them. Now another pick that we like. We are going to throw this one up on the big board as well. And it is going to be, let's just find a good place to throw it in here. Blue Jays, Rangers, and I am taking that at under 9.5 runs. Under 9.5 runs. Now, I know these are explosive offenses, but Chris Bassett against John Gray, two of the better pitchers right now in the American League, actually. Let's go look at that really quick. So, Blue Jays and Rangers, you may have assumed that the over was the better play. I like the under, but again, 9.5, I'm getting that at minus 155. Very consistent over the last 4 for both teams. So both teams of late, scoring's been a tick down. Again, the two pitchers in today's game, Chris Bassett and John Gray. Two good pitchers. I know Bassett's ERA is now up to over 4, but not too concerned about that. Now, hitters against John Gray in this lineup. Varsho is one that's hit him well, but there are a number of hitters who haven't hit him too well, so not too concerned about the few that do. On the other side, that's against John Gray. On the other side, how have the Rangers done against Bassett? Other than Tavares, not a single hit. So love what I'm seeing here. I'm taking the under in this game. The under in the Blue Jays and Rangers. Make sure all of those who are watching the show, make sure you follow Butt Fumble Sports because we're live every single day with research, picks, plays, analysis, and of course rants. So make sure you follow Butt Fumble Sports. That way you know every time we're live, you can follow us, get all of our content, and of course, watch our daily show because we're live every single day. Every single day. We are building a Cal Ripken-like streak here at Butt Fumble Sports. We have been live every single day for the last 6 weeks, everybody. 6 straight weeks, every day talking sports for 2 hours. There is no place, I promise you, there is no place that gives out as many picks, that answers your questions like Butt Fumble Sports. Not on ESPN, not Fox Sports, not CBS Sports, nowhere, not VSIN, wherever. You can find no other place that answers your questions and gives out picks at this kind of rate. Alexander, I need help with Cleveland and Omer. I'm leaning towards Arizona. The under is cash. Okay, let's look at it. You're looking at that Arizona game. Let's start with Arizona on the money line. They've been a good play over the last 10. First 2 games against the Guardians, they've won them both. Bibee is on the mound. I always want to say Bibby, but it's not. It's Bibee on the mound for the Guardians. On the other side, Zach Davies on the mound for the Diamondbacks. The starting pitching matchup has me a bit concerned. High ERA for Davies, 5.46, a high whip. That has me concerned. Bibee is a little bit better. He's just a bit better. Now, let's look at how Cleveland hitters had done against Davies. Not a lot of big numbers. Now, we're going to get to Ahmed Rosario. Ahmed Rosario is absolutely someone we want to consider for a player prop bet. But when we look at it from a play in terms of, is there a side we want on this one? Probably not. I'm not really crazy about this game. I don't really like the Diamondbacks because of the starting pitching matchup. However, let's look at it on the spread. Interesting. The Guardians are the favorite here. The Diamondbacks are the underdog. If I take the Diamondbacks plus 1.5, look how consistent that's been. 9 out of the last 10. That's actually a reason to take this. Can I get it at 2.5? No, that's a bit too chalky. But I'll take Diamondbacks plus 1.5. I'm surprised that that's being offered. I'll take that. Diamondbacks at home. I know the pitching matchup isn't great, but Diamondbacks plus 1.5, they've been playing too many one-run games when they've been losing for me not to like it. So when they've lost, it's been a one-run difference, or they're winning. So I'll take that play. Plus 1.5 runs at minus 165. You can put it on the board. Yes, sir. Okay, yeah. Alexander, we're on the same boat. Again, I wouldn't take them on the money line, but I do like them to cover, like totally. How about the under in that game? How about the under? Not as crazy about it all the way around, if I'm being frank, just because the two pitchers. I really don't have a good feel for this game because the two starting pitchers, not crazy about it. The line movement hasn't shown me anything either. Nothing to really get me excited about it. An alternative line of, let's say, under 10.5 is probably the best I would take it at. Under 10.5 runs. Looking at how these two teams have been of late, under 10.5 is a good place to take it. But that would be the only play. So I don't like where it's set at right now. An alternative line of 10.5, that's probably the play I like. I'll throw that one up on the big board, though. Guardians, Diamondbacks, under 10.5. Just to look at the weather really quick on this one. I know it's in Arizona, but how, is the heat going to impact the scoring? Anything else? Apparently a little bit. Likelihood of runs up 3%. Not enough for me to worry about it, but I really do like taking the under, again, at the 10.5. 10.5 feels like a good play. Tito's full send. I like Ohtani home run today. Again, cashed yesterday to Bing Bong. Okay, that said, you like Ohtani. You like Ohtani to hit a home run. Let's see. Can you get it up on your big board? Tito's full send. You already have two up there, but we'll let you keep track of that on your own. Can't stop the MVP. He's certainly the MVP. No brainer for me. Y.A. Tittle, Ricky Fowler plus 270 this AM line to win the U.S. Open. Good value. Interesting. So he originally, I believe, was like plus 45. I believe he was plus 4,500 at the start of the tournament to win. So if you put down $100, you would have won $4,400 on him. $4,500. You would have won $4,500 on him. Just a crazy bet. We didn't take him. I saw it and I thought, man, that is a bet worth taking. But of course I didn't. The only player that I had for my picks prior to the tournament was Scotty Scheffler. He's still very much alive. So plus 270 doesn't feel like a bad play. But given his history, I actually don't like him as much as a closer. So I do actually think plus 270 is still pretty risky. What site do you look at for offshore betting lines? Offshore betting lines. So we use Outlier to get kind of the obvious betting lines. Offshore betting lines, I don't have a really good source for them. I use Bovada as another place to get my lines, but no. Shouldn't I be 8-8? I took Natasha Howard over 7.5 boards. Did Natasha Howard have over 7.5 rebounds last night? I might have missed that one. Let me quickly look at that. WNBA stats. Natasha Howard. 10 rebounds. I got that one wrong. Thank you so much for catching it, Candyman. Good catch by Candyman. Didn't mean to do you dirty. I must have gotten that one wrong. So Candyman is 8-8. Candyman is 8-8. Good job, Candyman. Sorry about that. Good catch. Good catch. Apologies on that. Okay, Jorge, you have another celebrity shot. You won up on the big board. Hopefully we don't screw up the results like we did with Candyman. Candyman, hope you forgive us. Sorry about that. Austin Hayes over 1.5 hits, runs, and RBIs. Austin Hayes over 1.5 hits plus runs plus RBIs. Jorge, you are loaded up with your 2 picks of the day. IP Shade 45, Ahmed Rosario. Yep, I was going to bring him up earlier. We talked about him. I got to get Ahmed Rosario up there on my big board because I do love him today. Yep, absolutely IP Shade 45. By the way, IP Shade 45, so great to see you in the show. Candyman, Jorge, Alexander, YA Tittle 24, Tito's Full Send, Jeremy Todd 66, Sammy J, Monkey Man, Harley Ferguson, Great to see all of you guys. Christopher, so wonderful to see. Doghouse Breaks too. What a loyal group of followers we have. You guys view the show every single day, and you guys are absolutely awesome. Tyler, great to see you. Wonderful. And Carhone 1, great to see you. Love this community here. You guys are so loyal. You're so passionate. Absolutely love it. Okay, Ahmed Rosario. Let's get him up on our board. Let's see where we can take him. Over half a hit. Nope, it's 1.5. Total bases, 1.5. So it's got to be a hits, runs, and RBIs play for us, but it's set at 2.5. Brutal. Brutal. Screw you, sports books. You won this round. Over half a run, not a good play as well. This just turns into a bad play for us. How about over half a single? Probably the best play we're going to find here. His stats against Zach Davies are really strong. He does have a home run. This is tough because the sportsbook just isn't giving us enough fun, giving us good opportunities. I would say this is the only play I make. I don't feel great about it. I will throw it up on my big board just because I want Ahmed Rosario somewhere up on my big board, but I don't feel great about this one. Ahmed Rosario over half a single. Over half a single. Don't feel great about it though. Probably just at the bare minimum to make it on the big board at 55% confidence level. Total bases, 1.5. I do want to go towards, but I just don't have enough conviction. I have more conviction on the over half a single than I do on total bases, believe it or not. I know IP Shade 45. It's tough because the sportsbook is just squeezing us. Clearly the sportsbook is more aware that this is a better play than some of the others that we put up here. I'm surprised that we got, for example, Mike Trout over half a hit. I'm surprised we got Hunter Renfroe over half a hit. I'm surprised we got Austin Hayes over half a hit. I would have thought Rosario would be in that same camp. Unfortunately, the sportsbooks are being a bit smarter on this one. Okay, let's get to Goldschmidt. Over 1.5 bases for Paul Goldschmidt. Let's look at it, everybody. Paul Goldschmidt, over 1.5 bases. Doesn't have the good implied probability. Had been a good play until the Mets series. Cooled off a little bit. Did have a big game yesterday, so I shouldn't quite say that. Against Carlos Carrasco, lifetime, 3 for 6. 3 for 6. Doesn't have a home run or an RBI, but total bases, interesting. Can we get over half a hit for Paul Goldschmidt? Nope, it's 1.5. Too bad. Total bases at 1.5. I'm not crazy about either. Hits, runs, and RBIs is at 2.5. Once again, this is another one. The sportsbook squeezes us. I'm not saying it's a bad play. I'm just not seeing any place to really take it. There's nothing I really like. How about over half a single? Once again, over half a single is probably the best thing we're going to be able to take. It's been a decent trend. I'll take that. But again, much like Ahmed Rosario, we're really taking these last two, these over half a singles, just because we like the player. We don't like any of the other bets we can take. Paul Goldschmidt, over half a single. Hold your nose, swallow. This one isn't the one we like, but we can't get it anywhere else. Not on any alternative lines, so this is the one we got to ride. Again, if you want all of our picks, if you want to see all of our research, we put up our entire show up on YouTube. We're live on YouTube right now, but the entire show will be posted to YouTube. So go to our show. After we're done being live, go to our YouTube channel, Butt Fumble Sports. You can see all of our picks, all of our research. We will also end the show just a few minutes early. So we have about 15 minutes left of our show. That way I can go onto our website and post all of our picks. Every single day we post all of our picks. That way you guys can peruse them at your own leisure. You can see which picks we like, which ones we don't. And you can make the determination of what you want to follow and what you want to fade. We've got our celebrity picks up here. If you guys have celebrity picks that you want up on the big board, get them in now. We're running out of time for our show. So just write in the comment section, my celebrity pick or my celebrity shot, and we'll throw it up on the big board. Are there odds for Chris Taylor to get over half a hit? Let's see if we can get Chris Taylor on over half a hit. And by the way, once we do that, we're going to do one of my favorite things every day, reverse engineer. Nope, not seeing it over half a hit. Not seeing him available. Not seeing it, unfortunately. Okay, everybody. Going to do one of our favorite plays. Rusty, is that your celebrity shot of the day? If you have a celebrity shot, if you have a pick you really like and you want us to put it up on our big board, we keep track of these every single day. Keep track of your record every day. Hopefully better than we did for Candyman. But we keep track of all of your picks. So write in the comment section, my celebrity pick or my celebrity shot, and then whatever it is, we'll throw it up on the big board. Rusty, welcome to the show. Welcome to the show, Rusty. Hope you're having a lot of fun watching it. Happy Father's Day to you. And we are going to throw up your pick of the Astros on the money line, everybody. Rusty is taking Astros on the money line. Love it, Rusty. Welcome to the big board. Okay, I know you guys have some other questions and some other picks and other things, but we got to do one of my favorite things now. We do this every day, once a day. We go to Walks Allowed, and we reverse engineer. We go to the over-implied probability. Who's got the highest? Louis Varland. 71%, and it's only half. Yesterday, we took Logan Gilbert over half a walk. Look at how consistent this is. You gotta take it. Too consistent not to take it. By the way, yesterday, on our reverse engineering walks allowed plays, we went 5 for 5, everybody. We went 5 for 5 doing this yesterday. That's why I promised we would do it again today. Over half a walk allowed for Louis Varland. Let's look at another one. Patrick Corbin, we've already put this one up on our board. We already like this one. Patrick Corbin over 1.5 walks. That's already made an appearance. How about Lance Lynn? Lance Lynn, cash money. 5 games in a row of over 2 walks, or more. Lance Lynn, get ready to see your name up here. Lance Lynn, over 1.5 walks allowed. And again, guys, these were cashing hot yesterday. Don't want to jinx us, but certainly want to encourage you guys to pay attention. How about Charlie Morton? 63%. Oh my, guys, what do you see here but nothing but a lawn. Yes, we have a dirt patch here against the Texas Rangers on May 15th, but we call that a lawn when we see that much green, and we love lawnage. So, we're also throwing Charlie Morton over 1.5 walks allowed. Let's keep going, everybody. If we see good implied probabilities and good trends, we'll keep riding it. Tony Gonsolin. Bingo. 5 games in a row. Throw Tony Gonsolin up here. Tony Gonsolin. Over 1.5 walks allowed. Again, we're not just taking it because the implied probability is good. The trends have been good. You guys keep seeing it on the screen for yourself. Love what I'm seeing with this. Love the trend. That is definitely something we're into. Let's go back. Let's see if there's another one we can take. Jamison Tyone. Okay, we finally hit a trend that's not as strong. How about at home? Nope, not as strong. So Jamison Tyone, nope, we're not going to bite on it. How about Tyler Anderson? 59%. But look at the consistency. Look at the consistency of the walks. Tyler Anderson, get ready to join the crew of guys who are going to give up walks today. Over 1.5 walks allowed. The implied probability is under 60%. It's at 59%. But look at how consistent, everybody. That is some lawnage. Love it. Doing some landscaping when it comes to walks allowed. How about Zach Wheeler? Nope, not a good play. Not a good play. Again, this is why we show you these. This actually is a dirt patch in our mind. Maybe you want to take the under 1.5. That might be an interesting play against Oakland. Something to consider. Chase Anderson, not a good play. Again, avoiding Chase Anderson. Zach Davies, nope, not a good trend over the last 3. It had been good, but then missed. Jesus Luzardo, no. We've kind of rounded it out now. We've kind of hit the max. The only one left was Dean Kremer. Not good over the last 2. So everybody, those are our walks allowed plays. We just did our reverse engineering on walks allowed. Hope you guys are having a lot of fun with it. What book has the best odds for walks props? That's a great question. Great question. So consistently, what am I seeing on this implied probability? For the first 2, it's DraftKings. But other than that, it's Caesars. Caesars seems to actually offer the better odds on a lot of these walks. It's either DraftKings or Caesars that actually only these 2 sports books allow them. So one of those 2, DraftKings or Caesars. Keep in mind, we don't endorse any sports book here. We're not sponsored by any sports book. Outlier is not a sports book. It is a research tool. So for all of those, I do encourage you to use different sports books, as many as you can. That way you can always find the best bet. But we do not endorse any sports book here at Butt Fumble Sports. Tito's Full Send. I love it. I love it. IP Shade 45. Let's get IP Shade 45 up on the celebrity big board. Let's go. IP Shade 45 has a 2-2 record. Let's see if we can get that to 4-2 today. IP Shade 45's first pick of the day is Jace Peterson over half a hit. Jace Peterson over half a hit. Love it, IP Shade 45. IP Shade 45 does a great job with the research. Let's look at Peterson. We talked about him a little bit earlier. Good matchup against the starting pitcher he'll be facing. Over half a hit, as we mentioned. Good implied probability, just a tick higher than the under. Not a great trend over the last 10, but as we mentioned, and as IP Shade 45 mentioned, against Zach Wheeler, decent numbers, 2 for 5. So that said, that's what IP Shade 45 is putting up on his big board. If you guys want to get onto the celebrity big board, if you want your pick up on the board, make sure you put in the comment section, my celebrity pick or my celebrity shot. Throw it up on the big board, and we will put it up there for you. Thoughts on John Gray and Chris Bassett over 10 strikeouts? Well, as I mentioned earlier, I do like John Gray over 4.5. I'm not as crazy about Bassett. So what I would say is, yes, I probably lean towards the over, but not with strong conviction. I feel like 9.5 is what I would set that line at. I think it could get to 10, 11, so I lean towards the over, but not crazy about it, Jorge. IP Shade 45, thank you so much for hooking us up with that confetti. IP Shade 45, thank you so much for supporting the show. We have another pick to give out, thanks to IP Shade 45, hooking us up with that confetti. And the next one I'm going to give out is actually one I love. Haven't talked enough about him today, actually, and that is Yuli Gurriel. Great matchup today. Yuli Gurriel, can I get half a hit? No, it's 1.5. Too bad. Bases, 1.5. Too bad. It's going to have to be hits, runs, and RBIs for me. But again, 61% implied probability here. That is a good play. But more importantly, trend lately isn't what I have my eye on. It's his numbers against Patrick Corbin. 3 for 3 with a home run since 2018. 3 for 3 with a home run since 2018. I'm taking it over 1.5 hits, runs, and RBIs. Yes, do I wish there were other plays I could make? Yes, I do. They're not there. I got to take what's available. I do like Yuli Gurriel today over 1.5 hits, plus runs, plus RBIs. Again, guys, make sure you go to our website, buttfumblesports.com. That's buttfumblesports.com. Check out our blogs and go check out our DFS lineup of the day. You only have a few minutes left to get in your DFS lineups, so make sure you go over to our website, buttfumblesports.com. Check out our DFS lineup for today. Let us know what you think. Would love to hear your reactions. I'm actually checking mine right now as we speak to make sure that everyone I have is starting. And yes, everyone that I have in my DFS lineup on our website is starting today. So you don't need any substitutes. Yuli Gurriel is hitting third. He is someone I really like today. By the way, someone I also like, someone was asking about a little bit earlier, so let's go throw him up there. That is Salvador Perez. Salvador Perez. Only 5 minutes left of our show, everybody. Salvador Perez, over half a hit, is a must play. Really good trend for this one. Against Tyler Anderson, great numbers. Great numbers for Salvador Perez. In fact, he belongs up on my big board. And not just hits, runs, and RBIs are a hit. I like Salvador Perez to hit a home run. I like Salvador Perez to hit a home run today. So for all of those who have been hitting that like button, Jorge, I know we are up to 18,000 likes. We have just thrown up Salvador Perez on our big board. So there you go. I am also taking Salvador Perez over half a hit. Again, this is one I like in some parlays. This is a very good one to take. If, again, too chalky for some of you, that's why I'm encouraging it as a leg of a parlay. How about bases? 1.5 bases? No. But hits, runs, and RBIs? You betcha. We like runs in this game. This has been a really good trend of late as well. So let's go. Salvador Perez over 1.5 hits plus runs plus RBIs. And again, everybody, we like runs in this game. We think there's going to be some offense in this Royals-Angels game. So Salvador Perez, welcome to the big board. Hope you guys are having as much fun as I am. This is awesome. Best show on TikTok. I hope so. Until tomorrow, amigo. YA Tittle, great to see you. Hope you cash today. Hope you have a wonderful day. I want to give a big shout out to all you guys. You guys have been awesome today. I think this has been our best show yet. I think this is the best show we've had over the last 6 weeks. You guys brought the energy, the enthusiasm, some great questions, and of course, a ton of good picks. You guys were awesome today. We only have about 5 minutes left of the show because I'm going to throw these picks up on our website. But before we go, we have 2 things to do. First, I'm going to throw up the celebrity shot for Candyman, and then Top Dog, you've been patient. I'll answer your question about Zach Wheeler. But first, Candyman, Mr. WNBA himself. Let's get Candyman up on our big board for his celebrity shots of the day. Candyman is taking Mystics money line on the first half. Mystics money line on the first half. He is also taking the under 156 WG parlay celebrity shot. I'm really confused by the WG. What's the WG? This is a parlay. And you're also taking the under 156. Under 156 in what? In the Mystics game? Help me out here, Candyman. I'm not as caught up on you. It helps when you guys write out the full picks. So that said, you are taking the Sky Mystics under the 1. So plus Sky Mystics. Is that right? Giving me some extra work here. Okay, whole game. Okay, yeah, great. I assume the whole game at 156. If we're getting 156 in the first half, Jesus, what's going on? Anyways, Mystics money line. By the way, interesting, Candyman, you turned this into a parlay. I would have thought you would have just held on to this being 2 different picks. Interesting, Candyman. Getting a little bold. Okay, let's go look at the prop for Zach Wheeler on strikeouts. Zach Wheeler on strikeouts. Asked about the under, really strong play. Under 8.5 is a good play. I'll throw it up on my big board as well, given how strong a play it has been. We'll throw up Zach Wheeler under, that's under 8.5 strikeouts. I like that. Under 8.5, really strong trend. Has only hit the over once over his last 9 games. Good play. Good job by Top Dog. Thank you for being so patient as we got that. Okay, guys. We are coming to the end of the show. If you have a celebrity pick, get it in right now. Write my celebrity shot or my celebrity pick. We are closing up the show so I can post all of these picks to our website. Again, our website is buttfumblesports.com. Yes, you heard that right. The name of our company and the name of our website is Buttfumble Sports, buttfumblesports.com. We are live every single day. Every single day. We are live for 2 hours. So make sure you follow us. Make sure you join us every day, just like IP Shade 45, Jorge, Candyman, YA Tittle, Tito's Full Send, Rusty now a part of this crew. Love seeing you guys every single day. Alexander, make sure you're a part of this great community every single day for every show that we do. IP Shade 45 has another pick to throw up there. Luis Ortiz over 1.5 walks allowed. Let's look at it really quickly. And that'll be the last thing we do for today's show. Luis Ortiz, walks allowed, 55%. Oh, it's going off at 2.5. That's why. We'll let IP Shade have it at 1.5. The reason I didn't take it, I can only see it at 2.5. Okay, everybody. I'm going to slowly scroll over all of these final seconds of the show. Here are all of our picks. I'm going to scroll really slowly so you see all of them. I will also post all of these picks up on our website right now, buttfumblesports.com. These are going to be posted right now. That way you can see all of them. You can bet, you can follow, you can fade, you can do whatever you want. Everybody, here are all of our picks for today. Again, if you missed any part of our show, you can go to Butt Fumble Sports on YouTube. The entire show will be there. So if you missed any joke, any line, any rant, any pick, any research play, we are here to give you all of it. Here are all of our long ball long shots of the day, our stealing is sharing picks of the day, and our celebrity shots. The big board is loaded up today with all of these picks. Everybody, thank you so much for supporting the show as you do every single day. You guys are awesome. Make sure you follow us. Make sure you're with us tomorrow. Tomorrow, Monday, June 19th, we are live at 11 a.m., everybody. We are live. But Fumble Sports is live on Monday, June 19th at 11 a.m. At 11 a.m., everybody. But Fumble Sports is live tomorrow at 11 a.m. We hope to see you there 11 a.m. tomorrow, everybody. So make sure you join us. I hope most of you have the day off. Hope you guys join us for another full show to give you guys all the research, analysis, and of course, everything you guys need to cash some tickets. As you hear me say at the end of every show, I hope you guys stay healthy. I hope you stay safe. I hope you have a wonderful afternoon and evening. And I hope you cash a ton of tickets tonight. And by the way, one last time, to my dad, I love you so, so much. You are my absolute hero. Thank you. And I hope you have a wonderful Father's Day. And to all of the dads out there, I know athletes say hi to their mom when they're on the court, on the ice, or on the field. But I hope all the dads out there know what kind of place they have in our heart. I hope you guys have a wonderful Father's Day. I cannot wait to see you tomorrow, Monday at 11 a.m., everybody. And again, one last time, if you missed any of our picks,